Hello, little ones. Happy Friday. I hope you're enjoying your Friday night. If you have any questions about the items on my little shop, please feel free to message me. I'll leave the link in the description as well as my email. And if you follow me on Instagram, you'll be able to contact me there too. Thank you for joining me for Storytime with Moonie, where I read short stories every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for littles in every community. You can follow me on Instagram at Moonie the Space Kitty, Moonie the Space Kitty SFW, or Storytime with Moonie. The only difference between the profiles are the tags that I use. Through the profiles, you'll have access to the items I sell in my little shop. Now grab your stuffy and get real comfy. Tonight's story is Why the Sun and the Moon Live in the Sky. Long ago, the sun and the water were great friends, and they both lived on the earth together. The sun visited the water often, but the water never returned his visits. At last, the sun asked his friend why he never visited. The water replied that the sun's house was not big enough, and that if he came with all his family, he would drive the sun out of his home. If you want me to visit you, the water added, you will have to build a very large house. I have a huge family, and we take up a lot of room. The sun promised to build a very large house, and soon afterward he returned home to his wife, the moon. The sun told the moon what he had promised the water, and the next day they began building a large house to entertain the water and all his family. After several weeks, the house was complete, and the sun asked the water to come and visit him. When the water arrived, he called out to the sun and asked whether it would be safe to enter. Yes, of course, come in, replied the sun. The water began to flow in, followed by the fish and all the other animals and creatures that belonged to the water. Very soon the water was knee-deep in the house. Is it still safe for us to come in? Called out the water. Yes, of course, replied the sun. So more of the water's family came in. When the water was at the level of a man's head, the water said to the sun, do you want more of my family to come? Not knowing any better, the sun and the moon both said that everyone was welcome. More and more of the water's family came in, until the sun and the moon had to sit on top of their roof. Every so often, the water asked the sun if it was still okay to come in. Each time, the sun and the moon answered yes. Soon, the water overflowed the top of the roof, and the sun and the moon couldn't see their house anymore. As the water rose higher and higher, the sun and the moon climbed up into the sky, and they've been there ever since. The end. Thank you so much for letting me read to you tonight. I hope you feel safe, and I hope you feel loved. Good night, little ones.